walked away from his father, thinking he'd find freedom. But all he found was emptiness, broke, hungry and ashamed. He thought it was too late to go back. What he didn't know was that Jesus had been waiting the whole time. And when he saw him from far away, he ran, not with judgment, but with love. There was once a young man who believed he didn't need anyone, not even his father. With impatience in his heart and pride in his eyes, he asked for his share of the inheritance, essentially saying, "I want your stuff, not you." And his father, heartbroken but loving, gave it to him. The boy left home for a far-off land, chasing pleasures, freedom, and the world's hollow promises. At first, it felt like freedom. Parties, laughter, friends, the thrill of no rules. But as quickly as it came, it all disappeared. The money ran out, the fake friends vanished, and famine swept the land like judgment. He found himself alone, broke and starving, reduced to feeding pigs, wishing he could eat their slop. He had hit rock bottom, not just financially, but spiritually. And then in the mud and filth, he remembered his father. Not the rules, not the house, but the kindness, the warmth, the love. Shame covered him like a heavy coat. "I'll go back," he whispered, not as a son, but as a servant. He rehearsed his apology over and over, each step home fueled by regret and guilt. But what he didn't know, what he couldn't imagine, was that the father had been waiting every single day, eyes scanning the horizon, heart yearning for his lost boy. And when the father saw him in the distance, dirty, broken and ashamed, he didn't wait. He ran. He ran like no dignified man in that culture ever would. He ran past his pride, past his pain, and threw his arms around the boy who once said, "I want your stuff, not you." The son tried to speak, tried to confess, but the father interrupted with hugs, kisses, and joy. "My son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." He didn't wait for an apology. He didn't give a lecture. He gave a robe, a ring, and a feast. That's Jesus. Because Jesus isn't just the storyteller of this parable, he is the father in the story. He's the one who watches the road of your life, waiting for you to come home. You may think you've messed up too badly, that you've walked too far away. But Jesus never locks the door. He never turns his face away. He never says, "You should have known better." Instead, he says, "Welcome home." Jesus doesn't need you to be clean before you come. He'll wash you himself. He doesn't need you to be worthy. He declares your worth. When the world says you're too far gone, Jesus says, "You're still my child." When guilt says you're unlovable, Jesus whispers, "I died to love you." The beauty of the cross is not that we earned it, it's that he gave it while we were still far off. And just like the prodigal son, we don't return to a judge. We return to a father who runs, a father who rejoices, a father who restores. And that same Jesus who told this story 2,000 years ago is still telling it today, in churches, prisons, bedrooms, and broken hearts. Because this isn't just the story of one son, it's the story of us all. All of us who've wandered, who've wasted time, who've chased what never satisfied. But when we come to our senses and take one step toward home, we find that Jesus has already run the whole distance to embrace us. You don't need to clean up to come home. You just need to come. Jesus is waiting with open arms, endless grace, and a party that only heaven could throw. This is the gospel. This is the heart of Jesus. And this is your invitation to come home.